Hey, what is going on, party people? Greg Jenkins here, and I wanted to share a potential solution that I mocked up for a Keap user. Shout out to Amy, who originally asked this question, but I thought I would share it with all of you in case it solves a problem that you find yourself up against as well. So here's the scenario. Amy is a personal trainer and, among other things, sells bundles of training sessions. So somebody can buy like 5 or 10 training sessions at a time, and Amy is looking for a way to keep track of how many training sessions this individual has paid for and then how many they've used so that we know when to rebill them to, add more training sessions to their account, or when they, perhaps use more than they have already paid for. So the idea here is to set up a custom field that you can use to keep track of their current number of training sessions and then increment it when they pay and decrement it when they use those sessions. And I'll show you how to do this in either Keap Pro, Keap Max, or Max Classic, which is the version of Keap formerly known as Infusionsoft. So starting off in Max Classic, the first thing you're going to want to do is set up a custom field. So let's go over here to Admin Settings. We do want a Contact Custom Field, and we'll click Go. And then we just want to choose which tab and header where we want this field to be situated on the contact record. But let's go ahead and create one called Training Sessions. And you can set this as a whole number field, and then we'll click Save. Now in Keap Pro or Keap Max, the process for setting up a custom field is really similar. We will go to Settings here, we'll go to Custom Fields, and we can go ahead and add a new custom field here. Again, Training Sessions. And for the field type, we also want that whole number option. There we go, Create Field. So depending on which version, you'll set up your custom field here, or you'll set it up here. The rest of this demo should be pretty similar regardless of which version you have. We're going to jump into the Campaign Builder, also known as the Advanced Automations Builder. So in Max Classic, we go to the Marketing section, click on Campaign Builder, and we open up a brand new campaign here. And in Pro or Max, you would just go to the Automation section, click on Advanced, click on the plus, and add an advanced automation. But let's call this Training Session Counter, right? Something like that. You can leave the typo or fix the typo. I've chosen to fix it here, but that's up to you. Now, when they purchase 10-pack, you want to initiate a goal. So I've already set up the product here, Training Sessions 10-pack. You would want to go create that product if you haven't yet, but I already have it configured. And then we can click Save. And then in the sequence following that goal, we want to add 10 to field, right? And we can do this using our field math, which is an option in the set field value widget. So set field value is usually used to set a field value, but we can do an option here called use field math. So we have the training sessions here, and we want to add 10. If we know they bought a 10-pack, no matter what is in that field, we want to add 10 to it. So we have that configured, and you could do other things in here as well. Send them an email notification, apply a note indicating that they bought. You can do whatever you want in this process, but all we really need is to increment that field by 10 because we know that they just paid for 10 new sessions. How they use the sessions depends on your model. So if this is a physical training session, we need something that tells Keap, hey, they attended a class or they attended a session, right? If you're doing individual training sessions for people, maybe it's as simple as applying a note, right? Saying, hey, they attended a session today. Or maybe you fill out an internal form to record that they attended a session. Or maybe you have a fob that they scan when they show up to your gym or to your physical location, and that could trigger an API call, you know, when they scan in, indicating that they've attended, right? So the goal that you use to represent them using a session is going to change. That'll be dependent on your program. Use the session. But what we want to have happen here is when they use a session, then we want to subtract one from that field. So again, we're going to choose field math, and you can choose training sessions, and we can subtract just one at a time. And we'll click save. There you have it. Now, this is a really simple process. So subtract 1. When they purchase, it adds 10. When they use a session, again, this could be a internal form or a note applied or a tag applied, but when they use a session, we subtract 1, right? And that's the way that I would structure this. Now, you can add some additional bells and whistles here. For example, if they use a session and they that field value, right, is set to 1. So if the training sessions, that should be custom fields, if the training sessions field equals, you know, 1 or 2, right, let's say is less than or equal to 2, then we could send them into this one where we remind them to buy more sessions, right? Like you can build in automation as they approach 0 to remind them to purchase more. And similarly, if, you know, they purchase and they have 5 already in their account or something like that, you could let them know that, you know, you could give them an updated message saying, hey, you've got 15 now, right? So you can use decision diamonds to encourage them, to thank them, or to remind them as they get close to 0. Or if they use a session and they're below 0, you could have an internal notification telling your team, like, hey, they've overdrawn their account. They've used more sessions than they have access to. You could also create saved searches for anybody who has a negative number in that field, and then you know that your receivables team needs to reach out to them to purchase more sessions, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you could use this data. The key here is making sure that we have one field that is incremented when they purchase and decremented as they use their sessions. And I am almost done with this video, and I'm just now realizing that decrement may not be a word, but hopefully from the context, you knew what I meant throughout this video. So Amy or anyone else, I hope that this has been useful for you. If you have your own scenario where you think this might be a fit, feel free to share it with me. I always love to hear the different use cases or the context around how these different features are being applied. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Take care.